Yo, so here is something I just really picked up on from a couple of entrepreneurs who are really doing well outside of their 9 to 5. They have a 9 to 5 still, and they have a good 9 to 5, but they figured out how to do really well. Here's what I've learned is I'm gonna put it in a quote for you and then back up. But basically, just because you graduated to the corner office in your 9 to 5 does not mean you get to skip the garage and grunt work in your small business or your side hustle. And essentially what that is saying is these people treated their small business, their 5 to 9, their dreams, just like they treated their 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And stood out to me because they were really into the weeds of the everyday stuff that nobody likes to do. You know what I mean? We've all heard those stories, or even ourselves. Like me, when I started my own side hustle, I used to love spending time on the website. I'm like, ooh, if I could just work on the logo today. It felt so good. Felt so good to work on the colors of the website. Felt so good to work on the idea of a post or marketing or who I could collaborate with. Um, but when it came to sending emails, drafting the right letters, or taking on work that was necessary and demanded of me and mandatory, but it didn't feel good. I always put those to the side. So, three things that they always said that they've always done is track, right? So, what gets measured gets managed. We know that. So, tracking. These guys were big on tracking. Also, doing things daily. Doing things daily, like the tasks that you hate, I noticed that they were saying they do them daily because they force themselves to create a rhythm and repetition with these tasks where it becomes pretty much nature instead of nurture. And then the third thing is they repeat these steps no matter how much breathing room they gave themselves for the week, no matter how much they got ahead in their work for the week or the month, or were getting closer to their goal financially or their target for the month. They kept repeating these steps, even if they surpassed what they were doing. So, those three things has made them really successful in their small businesses and side hustles, even though they have a busy 9 to 5. And these are people who are managers, directors. I also talked to some people who didn't necessarily have a leadership title, but they worked a ton. Like they work a ton. They're an engineer. So yeah, if you want to be successful, you have to remember you haven't graduated from anything. Just because you grinded it out in your 9 to 5 does not mean you have put in that same work that's required of you in your 5 to 9, in your day, in your dreams, or anything else. Think about that. And it hits the ego a little bit. So I want to talk to myself or tell you about myself. I remember when me and a friend of mine thought we were going to start a logistics consulting company because we both worked at UPS. We both were really good with our clients. And you know what? I realized how much ego we had. And so I just decided, hey, man, you know what? I don't think it would work because we both have egos. It's not that me and you can't work together. We won't get anything done, then we'll blame each other. I'd rather we just be friends instead of being mad at a business that's not going anywhere. And my friend didn't understand why, but I told him, I said, there's a commonality, two commonalities that I saw between both of us that we both needed to get out of individually on our own time. One thing was we didn't want to take small clients. I don't know why, but we took small accounts all the time at work until we got to the levels of being promoted, et cetera, right? But we didn't want to take small accounts when nobody knows us in our side hustle. We only wanted whales because that's what we thought we were deserving of because that's what we did in our normal job. That was unacceptable. So once I saw that, that stood out to me. And then prospecting and cold calls. We didn't want to do outreach. We wanted to do light outreach. We wanted referrals. We wanted people to just hand us business. And that's not even how we developed our own territories at our job. Like, granted, we got referrals, but we were out there hustling, knocking on doors every day. And you have to do that every day, knock on doors. So if you're not willing to do that, you should really just chill. Just chill. But if you are willing to do that, then you may have a shot. So in context, just want to let you know that you have to, I'm getting text here, you have to be able to do the things that you do at work in your side hustle in your small business. And yes, it's boring. And yes, you hate it, but it's super important for the success of your business, just like it was super important for the success of the business you currently work for. All right. So start small, do the art, do it's okay to start small. It's okay to get tiny accounts. It's okay to do admin work. It's okay to answer basic questions and create a FAQ and create SOPs. It's okay to show up on time, track your numbers, even though you hate being tracked at work. Do things that you need to get done. And you know what? Skip all this automation because people are spending so much time learning automation. They could have just manually done some of these things and been further ahead. So I employ you. I encourage you. So, hey, keep it boring and keep it successful. Peace.